We are live from Newlands again, guys. And today, as you can see, I've got two special guests. So we're gonna have a lot of fun on today's show. Sorry that we're coming so late to you guys. We have to set up everything, make sure the angles are correct, making sure everything is sticking over. We have to make sure that you guys are obviously really happy with the broadcast and that everything's running smoothly. So thank you for tuning in, guys. Gonna be an epic show. There's a lot to talk about. There are some scandalous stuff to speak about, some great cricket to talk about, so many things that we're gonna chat about. South Africa obviously needing 111 runs to win after a magnificent bowling performance from South Africa. I think it was excellent the way they completely other than Rishabh Pant, of course, that was the one guy that just took it away. At some point in the game when I was watching him, I was sitting on the opposite end of the media center and I was watching him bat, and it just looked like he was just having fun in the middle. He was just there, just like blocking probably the strike. He was just like having fun, trying weird shots, but he got his century. And that is the main thing because it's the only century in this particular match. So we're hoping, of course, that more guys will turn up from a South African point of view. KP is on the verge. Don't want to jinx anything, so he's on the verge of another good score. He's currently the top run scorer in this particular series. So we're really happy about that from that perspective. And then there's some negatives to talk about that we need to get into as well. We know what we need to talk about. You guys know we've been speaking about it, and that is obviously Aiden Martin. But we're gonna just touch on that one. We're gonna touch on it a little bit. What we're gonna do right now is we're gonna go straight into the show. Smash the like button, please. Comment, share, subscribe, do all of those things. But also subscribe to Cricket Fanatics Magazine monthly. The link is in the description. Every issue 100% free in your inbox every single month without fail. So don't forget to go in and do that too. So guys, without further ado, you know what we're gonna do next is we're gonna go straight into this video. So a very good evening and welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your review show. I'm your host Khalid. I'm joined by Tsepo, I'm joined by Mpo, I'm joined by Ditya, Ravi, Werner, and we have an epic show for you guys today. This guy, as happy as ever, as positive as ever, as loud as ever. I love it. The energy that he brings to the media box. Some people may not like it, but most people will like it.
They must chill, bruh. They must chill. They must bloom, bruh. It's a vibe. Test cricket is a vibe, man. Come on. Are you watching this game? It's like game, man. Yo.
Yes. So we're having a lot of fun, of course. This particular series has been crazy. And so far, today there has been a lot of drama. And we are going to be trying to speak about as much as we can. But first and foremost, let's talk about the South African situation because I think that South Africa are in a very comfortable, I would say, position. Even though they've lost 2 wickets, it's not like necessarily. I feel like it's time for boys to step up now. The KP is obviously the people need to follow him and do what he's done. We've got the likes of Rassie still coming in. We've got the likes of Calvreina, Timba Bavuma still there. We need those batters to step up for us to win this game. It's going to
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Aditya show. Promotion.
Welcome to the show, Uncle Ravi. How are you doing?
I'm good. We should call this the Stump Mic show.
Sorry, guys. The internet doesn't want the dream to happen over here.
Units, they say the units again.
So, I'm going to start off with you guys first on the screen before we go to the two guys, gentlemen to my right and left. Aditya, your thoughts on the match? You were confident heading into this match, of course. Are you still very confident? Because, there is quite a lot of runs for South Africa still need to get.
Well, I have to say that I was quite worried watching Dean Elgar and Keegan Petersen go about their business. And at one point, just the effortless manner in which Keegan Petersen was smacking them all over the park, nailing a few reverse sweeps as well. It had me quite concerned. But getting Dean Elgar out towards the end of the day, last ball actually, I thought was could be a momentum shifter, and I think I think India will come back with some energy tomorrow. I think they're going to make South Africa work very hard for the 111 runs. But I think overall, if we're talking about the game in general, it was a phenomenal bowling performance from South Africa, and having Marco Jansen bowl that first over, I thought was a masterstroke. I wasn't expecting that at all. I thought KG and Juan would be opening the innings for South Africa. So to watch Marco Jansen exploit that bounce from Kelvin Grovend, I think, was a masterstroke, and he got Pujara out. Pujara's poor series continues, and then soon after, Rahane departed, who hasn't scored much through the series either. So there was a lot of pressure on Kohli and Pant, and I thought that partnership was solid. 94 runs, Kohli defensive as ever, resolute, and Rishabh Pant. I said yesterday that he might get 100 of 80 balls. It wasn't 100 of 80 balls, 100 of 130 balls, but I thought it was a fantastic innings. And if India go on to win this Test match, excuse me, he should be man of the match if India go on to win this Test match. But yeah, I thought overall it was an outstanding game, outstanding day of cricket, and we keep saying this after we review each day that the next day is going to define the Test match, but I think we have to keep postponing that. But tomorrow, I think will certainly define who wins the game, and yeah, again, may the best team win.
Okay, I'll go. I thought it was going to be Ravi, but I'll go. Yeah, it's been another brilliant day's cricket. I thought getting those 2 wickets early today, I thought we're really into it here. And I said at the time, this is the partnership. Kohli and Pant, this is the one we need to break early, or they're going to make it difficult for us. And then obviously they did, almost 100-run partnership. Pant being the aggressor as we know he is. But I thought he played a very smart innings today. He didn't just go after everything like he's done sometimes. He was very smart. He was defensive when he needed to be. He went after any poor bowling, all out as he does, throwing the bat to the square leg umpire, not worrying. So I thought he was brilliant. I enjoyed his innings very much. I thought I was quite disappointed by Augar's captaincy in patches today. His field placings at the end of the over when we need to make sure the tail enders are on strike, and then Augar's like, no, let's keep the field out. Let's just give him a single so that he can get on strike the next over again. I was hitting my head against the wall. I'm like, what the heck are you? That's captaincy 101. But in any case, what do I know? So I wasn't very happy about that. So the rest of the game, I enjoyed KP's innings again so much. He just looks so composed at the crease, so balanced, not afraid to play his shots. So glad to see him playing. I know a lot of people feel a bit iffy about the reverse sweep coming out, but he has so much control over it, so I have no problem. And that just puts the pressure on Ashwin. Immediately you saw him, oh no, wait, I need to pull back my length a bit, and the moment he did back foot, cut it through point to the boundary. So that's just class batting. And I think it's like the opposite of watching Markram at this moment. I watch Markram and like, oh no, he can go out anytime. He's gonna play a loose shot, and then what? He edges through the slips and like, what are you doing? You're probably going to do it again, right? Next ball, Nick out, and like, yeah, I saw that coming. And then KP comes in and I'm like, yeah, here is our banker. This guy is as solid as a rock. He might get out to a good delivery, it happens, but he won't just give it away. And so yeah, it's very enjoyable to watch him bat. I thought him and Algar did very well. I guess a lot of people will talk about Algar's LBW decision that he got away with. Obviously, for me, it looked out. Even on the replay, it looked really out. I was surprised by the DRS and everybody else. But I think the reaction sometimes to things like that, even if it is unfair, even if it was out and it's not out, just the reaction sometimes from some people, whether it be players or the fans, it just goes so over the top sometimes. And I'm just glad I'm not in that camp, because I would like be embarrassed by that type of reaction, to be honest. But yeah, so the game is, I think, with
Yeah,
Alga's wicket at the end, with Alga's wicket at the end, it's sort of brought it back again. Where are we now? Because we have Rassie coming in who hasn't scored a lot. We will need him to play the same type of innings he played at the Wanderers. And then Bavuma's looks solid. We just need him to continue in that same way. So I think 111, if you break it down, 2 40-run partnerships, that shouldn't be that difficult. So being from where we are, we should win it from here. Even though I've seen multiple collapses from us through this series, through prior series, I still believe 111 from here. You get a 40-run partnership between Petersen and Rassie, and between Petersen and Bavuma, or whoever the case may be. Maybe Verena finally finds his feet. Maybe he finally decides to move his feet. Maybe hit the 30. That can be enough tomorrow. So I still feel we are in an advantage as we stand.
So, Ravi, obviously Werner saying we are solid as a rock. Ding, ding, ding. So, like with regards to Keegan Petersen, look here, I want to ask you because you wrote a massive article for us not long ago about the apparent hair of the number 3 position being Reinhard van Tonder. So now we've got this guy KP getting better match after match, game after game, ball after ball. He just looks better and better as he gets along, and more time he gets in the middle. It feels like for me, this is the true example of how a domestic cricketer can learn from being in the middle and having game time. So, what's your thoughts on KP and the way he's improved over the last couple of seasons, or the last couple of games, let's say?
Thank you. Well, KP has certainly matured like a fine wine, for lack of a better word. But I have to say he's certainly improved strength by strength, from strength to strength, I should say, compared to when he toured the West Indies earlier this year. He's looking far more composed. He's looking far more reliable. And there's a lot of references or comparison between our openers versus KP. Aiden chasing once again at another wide one, whereas KP a little bit more composed, a little more circumspect with his shots, very selective. Keeps his head absolutely still, doesn't waft at every single wide delivery. I have to say he's certainly gotten much better over time. I think it's very clear as daylight he's cemented his place in the team. You asked about Reinhard van Tonder, and to be honest with you, I think he's still very much in the periphery. I agree with imposed points yesterday that the man needs to score runs in a variety of conditions. It can't just be, a lekker 100 in Bloemfontein, and then that's our guy going forward. We obviously need to see him apply his trade in different conditions altogether. Having said that, though, if Rassie and Aiden continue in the vein of form that they're in right now, I can guarantee you they're basically keeping a door wide open for anybody else to come in, whether it's Reina van Tonder, whether it's Zubair Hamza. Even Kyle Verena could very well come up the order as well at some point. It depended on how he does tomorrow. And you notice I mentioned him as well. I think there's a strong possibility we might see him back tomorrow. As much as I'd love to see Keegan, and if it is Rassie, see out the day's play with a 100-run partnership, there's a significant part of me, my gut, a substantial gut, I should say, that thinks that we are possibly going to squeak through, but it's not going to be a pretty finish. So we'll just have to wait and see tomorrow, gentlemen.
So, guys, your thoughts?
Umpo, please.
We were 1 wicket away from being perfect, having a very good day. That Alga wicket at the end of the day just kind of killed it in terms of like bringing in. It's literally opened the door for India slightly, but it depends on tomorrow. We don't want another second ball wicket. Like I've had enough of second ball wickets in the start of the day. That's something. But South Africa well ahead. If they lose from here, you have lots to blame. You can blame whoever you want. But like for me, really good day of cricket. South Africa in that punt and Virat Kohli partnership were helped by the fact that we had a lunch break in between. India thought they were ahead, and that's why Pant became more aggressive after lunch. Virat tried to be aggressive. He got out at the wrong time. It was because the problem about innings like that is 21 of 145 balls. You are in your shell. You are playing within yourself. You are denying yourself all the great things that you can do because Kohli has all the strokes in the book. But then when you get out at that point, when you, because today I'm sure Khalid woke up this morning and said, I need to win this series for my team. And if he didn't get out, we would be talking about India conquering this final frontier of theirs. But now he has to rely on his bowlers. It's now coming down to this pace attack that, because Ashwin's ineffective now. Keshav has been ineffective the entire series.
Yeah. Even dropped the catch.
Oh,
Exactly.
That's a harsh, Khalid. That was harsh. That's a drop, but
but it's going to come down to India's paces. They're going to have to be a lot disciplined outside because Rusty coming in, he's also under a lot of pressure. Calvarena hasn't scored a lot of runs. His technique is a problem. I'm sorry, guys. You guys love the guy. I think he's great, but that technique is going to give me heart palpitations if Khalid ever comes in. But the one thing that South Africa has in their favor, is that India emotionally, mentally are falling apart. Those comments, everything that's happened in the field, Virat's reaction.
Can I jump in here quickly?
They're falling apart. And that's moving South Africa in, and here you go.
We need to talk about that, Virat.
Yes.
And I've got the quote for you guys because we were hustling and bustling around in the media center because obviously the BCCI are hectic when it comes to these type of things. As soon as you post something, like at first thing I was searching on Twitter is to see whether there's any video footage posted online. I saw the first video get posted of the comment said and then taken down immediately. It's instantly taken down. So whatever the BCCI have in place to be able to pick up these magnets that are out there that are from a social media perspective to know when something has been posted that is copyright protected. I mean, they're brilliant at that. That's one side of it. But then I found a clip. We heard the audio. We discussed it in the media center. We're discussing it here right now as well. I've got the quote for you. Now, there's two different quotes over here on this particular poster. So I don't think that only Kohli spoke here. There was a couple of guys that were speaking on this quote. But the first quote was most likely Kohli. Focus on your team as well when they shine the ball, hey? Not just the opponent or the opposition. We're trying to catch people all the time. That's what Kohli said. Referring obviously to the ball tampering scandal, I think that happened when South Africa was here, when SuperSport obviously caught Cameron Bancroft playing with some yellow thing in his pants. Then there was a second quote that was heard on this particular clip as well. The whole country playing against 11 guys, which is how Test cricket works, Virat and India and all of you guys. That's what Test cricket's about, to be honest. When we go to India, you guys prepare.
The second one was punt.
Yeah.
The second one was punt.
Second one was punt. Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome that we know that the second quote was punt. But let's get real India and to all our India all the India players out there. When we go to India and we get rank turners and the ball's turning like 360 degrees, 720 degrees, and we are trying to bat on those rank turners against 1 billion fans that are just screaming people's names. That's Test cricket. If you're playing at home series, that's what it's about. So I feel the pressure's getting to Virat. This is
like how Australia capitulated in that series.
I'm feeling that when we were sitting in the media center, I think you guys were commentating at the time. There was this that decision, the gasp, when the shots went through the gaps, when Keegan's sweep came, the gasp in the media box that I heard, because normally it's very structured, we're all quiet, we're working, and especially this part of the game. But especially this part of the game, because normally people are filing their reports, etc., and trying to get the reports up as fast as possible. Like, I mean, Sport 24, I know they do their report like 5 minutes after the game's done, they're up. So, like, for example, everybody's focused, but the gasps and the reaction from the people in the media box, we could feel it.
Yeah,
it was excellent. The tension because that's why I walked around and I went to one of the suites, because that's normal fans and sponsors and people like that are watching the game. I want to get the feeling of what the fans are like and what they are like with regards to in the stands. And it was a little bit of contrast actually. There were a lot more like positive actually on the other side.
Like we've seen this story.
Yeah, we've seen this story before. We've seen this movie before. So like
It's the Aditya Show.
We're back.
I'd like to hear your opinion on it, Aditya.
You know,
Yeah, yesterday. Sorry, guys. Yesterday was fine. We
okay, I guess you guys are back. Call them back.
yeah.
Must we
yesterday
buy
was-
data for Newlands Cricket Ground, guys? Must we send it to
Well, our broadcast works
Get the
well.
voucher.
Newlands Wi-Fi is not always the best, guys. That's why I always rush home normally. But I wanted to be with the guys here. We can't not. So smash the like button, 40 likes. What are your thoughts, Chepo? You didn't speak yet.
Yeah, no, I am having the time of my life. This is Test cricket at its best. Ball 2, wicket. Next over, another wicket. Punt, Virat Kohli, fighting. Wickets. Guys. Edge of my seat stuff. And I was in the media center at that time when the review for the LBW came. And when it missed the stumps, you could literally feel everyone like, oh, guys, how was that not out, bro? I thought it was out immediately. I thought it was gone. As soon as it passed the edge, I was like, gone. He's not gonna stay. But he survived. And then at the end of the day, he goes out. And that's what I love about this game in particular. Literally, when the game looks like it's getting away from one team, 2 wickets. When there's pressure on the batting team, boom, one partnership that just changes the game. And this game, literally,
Fire
on the
alarm.
edge of my seat.
Because
Because I'm
That's a fire
on
alarm.
fire,
Not
bro.
us.
Because I'm so hot, dog. That's the problem. That's the
Chepo's
problem.
on fire.
If there's a fire, we're going down with Newlands.
100%, dog.
Chepo's on fire.
Stop it. Stop it. But yeah, we didn't speak about Aiden Markram, and I want to quickly complain. I'm done. We've given it too much time now. Enough time, Aiden Markram.
You're done
You've had
or
enough
down?
time. Just the
Down,
manner
down
in
the
which
order.
he went
Down.
out. Down.
Down
Gone.
the order.
Gone.
Down
Aiden must fall.
order.
Zupta must fall. Whatever, dog. But for me, it's not that. What bothers me is that he went out in the manner that he did. It wasn't like he got a Jaffa, a new ball that, yo, bruh, how did I play that, bruh? No, dog. After edging first up, he goes again, the same shot. Nah, dude, you need temperament here. This is a test match for your country. It's the last game, bruh. He just needed to catch some focus. And it looks like his brain's just a little frazzled. And you can't be like, it's the new ball, it's this, that. No, bruh. Done.
Aditya,
Guys.
when your captain behaves the way he did today, I mean, I'm a big fan of Cody. I like his attitude. I like the competitive spirit that he has. But when he does perform, because there has been a lot of fight back from certain parts of Twitter, cricket social media, Facebook, etc., about Cody's reaction. So, when you're looking at it from an Indian fan perspective, what is your thoughts on that? Like, what do you think about it when Cody behaves the way he does?
Look, are we referring specifically to that incident after Alga's LBW was overturned? Or are you talking generally? Because I think it's a massive conversation.
Yes.
You know, like generally, I don't want the captain of the Indian cricket team to be going about, yelling on the field all the time and, hurling abuses. I don't want to be seeing that. So that to me sets the wrong example, which is why I've always been a fan of the way Ajinkya Rahane led India and Australia last year. I thought there was something very dignified about that. So I think objectively, I'm not a fan of watching Kohli or any cricketer, swear on the field or, try to rattle oppositions verbally. I don't think that's on. But in saying that, I think if you're talking specifically about the DRS incident today when he was talking to the mic, I mean, I thought that was funny more than anything. It was so ridiculous that I thought it was funny. But even beyond that, if we're having conversation about Kohli and Ashwin, Ashwin said something along the lines of, you should find better ways to win Super Sport. Murray Erasmus, the umpire, when he saw Elgar's dismissal, he said, "This is impossible." So, I know that Kohli is like superstar Indian player, and it looks like the Indians are sour grapes there. But if we're being critical of that behavior, then we also need to talk about Murray Erasmus, because he made a comment there as well, and he's the umpire. He is a match official. Players can say whatever they like. Back in 2001, 2002, when Australia were touring South Africa, the Australians didn't like the fact that the stump mics were on all the time, and Adam Gilchrist was known to promote rival companies of the sponsors that were sponsoring that series, which forced SuperSport to turn off the stump mics, and I thought that was amazing. But look, I think this is generally it's a pretty general trend in cricket, where teams don't like the stump mics on for as long as they are. But in saying that, look, I think overall, I don't want to see the Indian captain or any Indian player going around, hurling abuses or, throwing tantrums on the field. That's not on.
I do want to jump in here quickly, and it's something that I noticed in the Wanderers game on the last day. When India have their heads down, it's ugly. It's not good. It doesn't look good, and that was a moment where the momentum sort of shifted. When things go Virat Kohli's way, he's pumped, he's happy, he's there. But when they don't, it looks like he's throwing his toys out the cot. When he wasn't on the field, it looks like the whole energy of the team just dissipates completely. So I think in terms of mentally, like the Indian team I think they thought it was going to be a little bit too easy. They thought with the new team, they're going to come and just bulldoze South Africa. And now South Africa is coming with the fights. Now Dean Algar's like nugget attitude seems to have permeated in the whole team. Keegan Petersen is playing that. Like we saw how many balls he was wearing after Dean Algar was also wearing some balls. And that's a fight, And I don't think India expected a fight after conquering all these other places. They thought, okay, final frontier. We have this in the bag. We wanted Centurion. And it looks like they just got lulled into a false sense of security. And now, just the day before the last day, because tomorrow's probably going to be the last day, it looks like they're frazzled. It looks like, this game is actually getting away from us. And I was in the stands before they sent me away from the stands, just making noise about Virat Kohli, my man. It's the last chance here, buddy. If you don't get it here, you're not going to win. And I can't believe, but it actually worked. You're looking at him now. He looks frazzled.
Oh, so it was you who Virat Kohli was turning and looking when Aiden Markram went out.
No.
He turned and he looked at the stands and he was talking to guys.
No, I wasn't in the stands then. When Aiden Markram was out, when South Africa is batting, I'm not.
You just made 1.2 billion people upset.
Look, I think I don't know about.
Finally went out. When Dean Algar finally went out, you guys probably didn't see it.
Yeah.
Kohli turned around and looked directly at SuperSport.
Oh.
Okay.
But he turned around.
Spicy, bro.
It was incredible. I was like, this is getting me now.
Look,
SuperSport's still going to cancel his DSTV subscription tomorrow, man. I'm telling you.
Smash the like button, 50 likes, please, guys.
Yes. But the one thing that, as Tippo speaks about, is in moments like this, when it's heated, you have to be the adult in the room. Somebody in that Indian dressing room, the senior players in the Indian dressing room, need to have a meeting tonight with the rest of the team to tell them that they need to calm down. They're not out of this game completely. That
2 wickets and
it was like the Bumrah spell with Shami in the end was the last throw of the dice for the day, and they got something. So you have to be the adult in the room. You cannot allow your emotions to go away, even if you feel like you're being cheated. Even if that is the one moment where you need to be the calmest. And I think for me, it depends on what India comes out tomorrow. We want the India that came out early yesterday morning if they want to win this series. If not, because they keep on saying the South African batting lineup is inexperienced. The South African batting lineup doesn't know what they're doing. South African batting lineup is a weakness, whatever it is. Yes, KP is batting out of this world. Timber averages 63. KP averages 48. But you've got some moments, some weak spots in Rassi and Kyle.
And Aiden.
And it's not over. But at the Wanderers, it felt like they were bowling like it was over.
Mm.
How do you allow South Africa to score 120 runs in 2 hours? So for me, that's what they need to kind of fix going through. And having a guy like Rahul Dravid in the as a coach might be the moment where he will kind of calm them down and remind them of how they've bowled in the first innings, how they've bowled at Centurion, because there's no way. Do you know how much of an indictment it will be for India to lose a series in South Africa, having won the first test 1-0?
And beating us so handsomely in the first one as well.
And it's also the other thing, because remember they didn't want the fourth test. Yeah. So if they didn't want the fourth test, it's a 3-match test series. They could have had an opportunity to tie it at least. But we're gonna find out tomorrow, and that's the exciting thing.
Test cricket, guys, and I want you to weigh in on this as well as Ravi. But Test cricket, we know it. We've seen it in this series and this match even. You can be going along and getting the runs on the board and ticking over and building good partnerships. 1 wicket falls and it changes the whole complex. It rolls from there, snowballs from there. So you can easily be out of this game with 1 wicket. Tomorrow, for example, maybe I shouldn't even put it into the universe.
Just touch
We're
wood.
already on Nelson.
So yeah, we're in on
Nelson.
Nelson. So for example, if KP loses his wicket just after he gets his half century or before, whatever the case may be, things can just disappear. We need him to bat through the innings actually for us to actually win this game. I feel more than yes, we need the others to contribute. Of course you do, but I think we need to focus on guys building with KP and protecting him at that wicket as much as possible. KP needs to be able to play his game as free-flowingly as possible. KP's always been, in my eyes, from watching him in domestic cricket, a grittier type of player. Not as Dean Elgar that doesn't have that. You know, Dean Elgar always talks about it. He says he doesn't have talent like the rest of the guys. He's a good guy. You know, he fights, he works through it. He's a bulldog type of player. But KP's always had that fighting spirit in him. I've seen it. Because for him to be able to move provinces as well at the age he was and to a new environment, it shows his mentality, and those are the unseen characteristics that KP has within him that you can see within his mental game, and that's like obviously putting through and coming through him from his childhood, the way he's grown up. Obviously, it wasn't the easiest. His whole history, it's all coming through him, and that's what we're seeing now. Obviously, that's going to help him fight through the difficult times. But
Whoa, you're back.
Aditya, do you want to go? I know you still wanted to say something and then you were cut off.
Go for it, Mr.
About the entire DRS situation?
Yeah, you wanted to say something after that. I remember when Khalid said he turned around to Supersport, you still wanted to say something there.
Oh, I don't remember now, but look, I think it's not ideal, and you know, I don't want I don't want that victim mentality to really seep into the team. You know, I mean, I don't really care about what's past now. I mean, Dean Elgar is out. You know, it's time to focus on the next set of batters who are coming in, because getting those wickets will be more important now. But look, I think it's a complicated conversation, right? It's very, because Kohli is an emotional man. You know, certainly on the field, he's an emotional man. He wears his heart on his sleeve, and some people like that, others don't. You know, but that's what gets the best out of him. I don't think it always works, because I feel like sometimes the team is under pressure. And if you look at Ajinkya Rahane the last time, there was none of this drama going on, and the Indian team still won in Australia. So I think players just respond differently. They just need different motivation at different times. But yeah, look, either way, it makes for riveting cricket, right? And ultimately, we all want to see Test cricket where the pressure is on both teams. And you know, if there's one thing that I'd probably say about this entire like sledging episode, or you know, like attitude episode, I feel like sometimes, you know, the Aussies, they deserve to get pinned for it, you know, as they have in the past, and the Indians do as well. But I feel like, you know, every team chirps in a different way, and that's okay, you know, as long as it's not personal and it's like that. Like Rasi was chirping Rishabh Pant when he came into bat. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that at all. You know, again, that episode between Pant and Rasi, I thought was hilarious. That was great for the game. And that's fine as long as it doesn't cross into that territory of being nasty. It's okay. It's no big deal.
Yeah. I've enjoyed this series a lot. The only way I would have enjoyed it more is being there with Khalid and Chepo and Umpo at Newlands, but I've enjoyed watching it a lot. I think it's you never know. Each day comes and you're like, okay, SA are in front. No, India are in front. No, the Proteas are in front. No, India are in front. And it goes like that through the whole day. And that's just why I love Test cricket, because you just never know. And especially Test cricket in South Africa on pitches like this that make it so difficult for batsmen that basically they are never in, right? You hear that talked about a lot. They are not. They don't ever really feel in because one ball will nip away, one ball will take the glove like it did for KP today, but he got away with it. So it makes for very interesting cricket. It makes it very difficult for the batters. I feel for them because all the bowlers are averaging like under 20. So they're just racking up the stats, and the batters are like, it's not my series. But then this is the great opportunity to stand out above the rest, because on pitches like this is where you can see who is really there to make a big impact. So somebody like KP has really stood up above the rest, and I think Temba is also throughout the series, and Alga with his knocks in the second innings. But you could just see the way they stand out above Markram or Rassi or Verena. You can just see that difference, and I think the way that KP has played is especially. I've said this in other streams as well. The way he plays Ashwin makes me so happy. The way he uses his feet to come down the crease, the way he reverse sweeps, the moment it's slightly short, he's deep in his crease, he cuts it. He looks to work it into the gap. He plays it in the same kind of way that Amla used to play it. Not the reverse sweep, but the other type, the way that AB would play it. Come down the pitch, go deep in the crease, reverse sweep, put the pressure back on Ashwin. He's not just sitting there waiting for something to happen, he's making it happen. And I think that makes a huge difference. A lot of our batsmen get so stuck against spinners. They're just waiting for, okay, hopefully he bowls a bad ball. And then Ashwin doesn't bowl a bad ball in 5 overs and they get out because they're just prodding around. But KP is putting the pressure back on Ashwin. Even if it's not a square turner, just the way he goes about it makes me think he will probably do well in the subcontinent. But yeah, if I just finish off quickly, we are definitely still in the balance here. As we have said probably every day of this whole series, every day has probably ended up and we're still not quite sure. So I'll say SIR slightly in the lead here, but like we say, if they get KP and Rashi quickly tomorrow, then it's Temba and Verena. Verena still hasn't found his feet. Then it's already Janssen. Janssen is batting a spot too high. He's a bowler that can bat a bit. He's not an all-rounder yet. So this is definitely far from over. So once again, I'll be planted in front of the TV tomorrow and watching every ball.
Same.
Yeah. Ravi, your thoughts?
Yeah, look, I know that the Indian camp, especially, were quite heated when they left the ground at the close of play. But I think once Virat, has his ice bath with the rest of the guys, and they have the chicken schnitzel in the hotel dining room, I think they're going to come to a realization that the score, as deceiving as it might be, we must also remind ourselves, and this again is me being objective. You've got Keegan Petersen, who's definitely in form, who's at the crease. And the only other batsman that can pose a threat now that Alga is gone is Temba Bavuma. Right? So there's basically two stalwarts in the South African batting lineup that can pose a threat. And we know Janssen can play a couple strokes himself. But at the moment, while we can say the score could very well be in South Africa's favor, the deficit certainly in South Africa's favor, I think the Indian camp is going to be delighted with the fact that they got a key man in the form of Alga out. And you only got two known threats, and these guys have actually popped up throughout the series with significant scores that sort of thwarted the Indian efforts. So I think while the camp might have been very hot-headed when they left the ground, I think they sort of cooled down and realized, hang on a second, guys, we only have Petersen, we only have Bavuma to really worry about here. No one else in the batting lineup has really posed a bit of a threat other than KG with his beautiful Brian Lara back foot cover drives, right? But 110 runs, it can be defended. It can definitely be defended. You've got Jasprit Bumrah who's bowling beautifully. We saw what Shami can do with the ball. They've got a tremendous bowling attack. I think the only other guy I would say that South Africa could potentially get on top of very early on if Yadav does come on, in the first session, is Umesh Yadav. But other than that, you've got a fantastic Indian bowling attack, and I think tomorrow is going to provide a lot of entertainment for both the South African and Indian audiences and cricket audiences alike. And guys, last one for me. Imagine this is humble pie. This is drovo, so South African delicacy. And I believe all South African fans, well, not all, quite a few are eating humble pie right now.
Not
with
me.
regards to Juan Jansen.
Not me.
Not you, okay.
Not me.
So Marco Jansen, I remember when he was selected. When Marco Jansen was selected for the first test, I remember there was a furor on Twitter. Why isn't Juan Olivier picked in the first test?
No, but we know why Dwan wasn't picked, Ravi.
I was back.
He was
No,
supposed to
I'm
start.
saying, but I'm referring to the general reaction.
Eating humble pie.
I'm not eating humble pie. I backed this guy from.
I
the
definitely am eating humble pie. I'll be the first to admit this.
Wow.
Admitted it
boy.
about Keegan Petersen as well. I'll be eating humble pie until one day soon.
I'll give you props. Props for eating humble pie, Ravi. That's manly stuff
Bro.
right there. Good stuff. 10 out of 10.
I don't know why you're eating it. I just said
Aiden's going to open for the rest of the year. For that, you're going to get Aiden to open for the rest of the year.
Oh, no, did that happen? Oh no. Please.
Anyway, guys, let's wrap this up. I think great test match. I have to say that we're seeing proper test cricket over here. Although maybe it's not going to go to 5 days. I mean, I was hoping it would.
Why?
Because I want to 5 day cricket.
I want to go to the beach.
I want 5 day. Of course, you want to do it at the same time. Yeah.
No,
Because you guys don't have water there, but
Before you close off, what I want to say is Lungi Giti spell
Oh, yes.
post lunch today, 4 overs, 3 wickets,
Oh.
11 runs. That opened up the game for South Africa.
Oh.
Not a lot of people are going to speak about it, but he really did step up. All our bowlers did. Jansen 19 wickets, Kagiso 20 wickets, and Gidi 15 wickets.
everybody except one stood up.
Yeah, essentially.
I'm gonna be dead honest. That's my,
And Kesh.
what
But
I
mean,
thought one. Look at it's almost like what I thought one was gonna be and what we got was like.
two different things.
It's almost like you see a girl in the club and she's a 10 and then
goggles, bro.
What the fuck? Look, that was exactly like
If
that.
you guys going to say it in Gidi, or you're going to say it Rabada, you need to say it in a Pommy and Bongo way of saying it in Gidi.
Like I mean, one like I mean, he's
This man is calling Dual Olivier guava, dog. What's
no. What I'm saying is that what I thought I was going to get from Duan Olivier was not exactly what we got.
Isn't that the same thing with Aiden in this series?
I think so too. I was really hoping that Aiden was going to come to the party in this test. I thought at home it's going to be the perfect time for him to come on in form properly and get a couple of change that 90 that he got against India the last time into 100 because at least at Centurion I thought that was going to be the launch.
All I'm going to say
He's
is
been
I'm so
for
excited
series.
to see Sardo Advia make his debut in New Zealand in February. Tune in, wake up at like 11 p.m. to watch Sardo Advia get his cap and also make his debut at the top.
You're dangerous.
I mean, I've been very I'm very very disappointed with Markram that because I haven't seen him learn from the mistakes. That's the issue here. If I saw that there was improvement, and I saw that there was a difference made within the way he stood, it almost seemed like at some points today that he was standing leg stamping.
Khalid, my
No,
man.
remember what I mean?
Guys, you see what you've done now. You started this Aiden Markram
No,
chat. And now
What we're saying is his dismissal at the Wanderers. He got 2 balls that were ducking in.
Yeah.
And the third
Standing
one
off
got
side.
him out. Today, he edged one. He realized he wasn't supposed to do it.
but he did it again, bro. No.
I think it's frustration because we know the capacity. We know his ceiling and what we expect of him. The expectations are so high.
No, bruh,
And
this
then-
is a ceiling, Khalid. This is a ceiling.
I don't think
I'm
so.
done.
I still don't
I'm
believe
done. Done, bruh. Done. Done.
I'm not that
Done.
strong, but okay. But when I look at it from a logical perspective, there's no logic to talk about it.
Stop
But
trying to
he's
save
been-
this man.
No, I'm not.
Oh,
I'm saying he's been dismissed in this series.
Maar,
I mean,
maar
in
wat
this
van
series, he's
Rassie?
been dismissed in every single way possible. He's been dismissed.
Yeah,
He's
No,
thrown
Rassie
off stump. He's
Rassie's
been
not like
LBW.
that.
He's been bowled middle stump. He's been knocked over LBW. He's been caught LBW. He's nicked off. He's chopped onto his stumps. Every single way possibly that he could have went out in the series so far as an opener batter, it's happened. So it's been a terrible series, and you can't deny that. So
So hiding him at 4
done.
Yeah.
would be unfair on the guys coming up.
Done.
yes, it would be, I think. But right, I think that South Africa is looking at this as an opportunity to maybe save him still.
No.
Because I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about the
No,
coaching
but
staff.
think about it. We're in an SJN era. You're going to have the SJN in 5 years' time where Yanaman Malan's going to arrive and say, it was white on white violence and I never got my shot. When Aiden Markham had a poor series, we were waiting for him. He averaged 12 in the series and I never got my shot. Or who else? Zubair Hamza could come through and say,
So, yeah, he could complain.
There are many
Peter
other
could
numbers in the
Peter Malan could perform, yeah.
Sadal Advi has been sitting in that change room, but he would have
Sadal
an
Advi,
opportunity.
bro.
I mean, Ryan Bickleton, generally speaking, he's been in how many camps now? Not that I had an
Well,
opportunity.
Ryan
Right,
Richardson, I back that guy.
but it's going to send a bad precedent
Yeah.
if you want to save it. I know South Africa's done it before, but when an era where Graham and Mark are being watched with a fine-tooth comb, they're under investigation right now. Waiting for the results of that inquiry. So if Aiden's on the plane to New Zealand, I hope he's not starting, and I hope he's
He better be on the bench. He better be on the bench.
because it's
Done.
a 2-test series.
We've tried with this man for years. Umpo, you've been vexed for years, and I tried to defend this man. I just wanted one score. He gave me nothing. He didn't even give me a fight. I'm done. Done.
He posted the biggest Aiden marketing poster in his house. I'm just telling you all now.
See you, Tips.
Khalid looks so defeated between Mbo and Chepo right now.
I'm in the middle here, guys.
It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace.
Okay, let's close it up, guys. We could probably have a whole podcast show on Aiden Markham. So, Werner, let's get your final thoughts, and Aditya, let's get your final thoughts. And Ravi, let's get your final thoughts before we say bye.
I've said what I wanted to say about the test and where we are in the test. I just wanted to mention one more thing. I was so happy about our catching today. That brilliant catch by Petersen, that catch by Markram. I thought we were, and that catch by Alga after Verena palmed it up. I thought we were really on the ball, and that really changed things for us. Those 2 early wickets definitely had an impact. Even though Curly and Punt went on to play very well, I thought our catching was excellent. And I think the moment we are good in the field, our whole body language is good. I saw you remember how poor our fielding was. Where was it? Was it in the West Indies? I think it was in West Indies. Our fielding was so poor, and our whole body language was just iffy. So it was so good to see that type of energy. I think Petersen is just having a series to remember, and he's going to take a lot of confidence into the New Zealand series.
Well, for India's sake tomorrow, I hope that everyone gets, good 8 hours of sleep and they wake up fresh tomorrow, ready to go. And they produce the goods, because they would want to believe that the game is in the balance. And you get KP, Rassie, and Temba, and we've got some inroads there. So I do think that 111 can be defended. India will want to believe that, and I imagine that they will make South Africa work for every run. But I think there's one thing that we probably haven't talked about a lot, and maybe we can talk about it at a later stage, is what's going on with KG's no balls. The number is crazy. So I don't know what's going on there. It seems like there's this, as Sunny Gavaskar said on commentary, that the bowling coach probably has a lot of work to do. with KG. I think it was 41 no balls through the series, something like that.
That's
I,
mad.
I think KG's rhythm. That's match rhythm. He got better as the series went along. He hardly got any no balls in this particular match.
And in this,
So like he got better as it went along, and he got faster as well. I mean, his pace goes up to 140 at some points in this particular match. So I think it's the rhythm. I think it is match time in the middle from a test perspective. So I think look at Aditya. I'll be very sad if we lose this match.
of course.
Oh no, that's an easy one. If we lose this match, as a man, I'm coming for.
Oh,
As a man,
no.
he's done so well so far. But if we lose this match, I'm coming for.
Ravi, take us home, please.
You know what? Regardless, whoever wins, if it's South Africa, if it's India, I'm still gonna go watch Spider-Man tomorrow. Guys, this is Test cricket at its finest. Yep. I'm gonna don't spoil it for me. I'm gonna watch it for the first time tomorrow.
I
Yeah.
went 3 times.
I know Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Okay.
3 times.
We're gonna have to talk. So tomorrow after you're done watching it,
Spoilers.
I want a phone call from you, Ravi, please.
That's a good watch.
Yeah, we need to get me. It's like, you want to get somebody to the chapel. Like I haven't seen Spider-Man since it came out on the 16th of December because I had COVID, and it's been bothering me ever since.
Yeah.
But anyway,
So
that's a discussion for another day.
When you're done, I want a phone call from you to
I mean, even it's giving him 4 sleepless nights as well. Definitely.
Cartoons,
Guys,
really,
it's not cartoons, bro.
It's a cartoon.
Okay, guys, thanks. And we ended here. Thanks, guys. Well, thank you for the show. I enjoyed it a lot. Thank you, Mpo. Thank you, Tsepo, for joining me. Aditya, Werner, Ravi, thank you for all the fans that have tuned in. Smash the like button, please. Click up subscribe, the notification bell, all those things. But subscribe to Cricket Fanatics Magazine monthly, guys, please. Every single issue is 100% free, straight into your inbox every single month. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you guys again with another review show. Take care, everyone.